Now, what I wanted to know, man, we're gonna. I want, of course, we're gonna talk about hip hop because you are hip hop. You know, you carried it on your back. We're gonna talk about a few things, but we're gonna start with that. Now, obviously, hip hop is $1 billion industry. It's all around the world. It's been around the world for 3 decades now, at least. But it started from the Bronx. But not only that, it started from just a few crews. It wasn't like the whole borough started hip hop. The roots of hip hop started from a few crews. And I want you to tell me, and I want you to tell the people what crews are the beginning grassroots of hip hop, and how did they how did they make it last so long by carrying on their back? What is it that they had that allowed it to be almost 50 years old?
Well, in my estimation, the whole thing started, and this was when we started because it's like us. So being that we were one of the first crews, but it actually started out with 3 crews. Of course, Africa Bambaataa and the Mighty Zulu Nation. It was Herc and the 9 crew, and then it became our crew. And then I think where we came in, because what Herc was actually, he had the most complete crew. He had the sound system. He had, the capacity to do the big parties indoors, and he had his b-boy, his b-boy. He had all the A1 b-boys. He had the legendary twins, which back then they called themselves the nigga twins. El Dorado, Mike, Jazzy Janet, Salsa, James Bond. He had his b-boy game was airtight. Bambaataa, they had an organization. They had a crew. They had the Zulu Nation. It grafted out of the black space, like all the Zulu Nation. They all ex-space. What our crew had, which made it a standout crew and one of the original 3 crews, we was the first ones to have MCs. We brought about MCing to hip hop, and the elements of those 3 crews, which was passed on to all the crews that came after us, was what made hip hop last so long. You had to be organized. It wasn't like you could just put a crew together and then be successful. You would be what I considered a toy. It's just like a lot of the guys that came after us, and then they said that they was there. They were there. I seen them standing there on the other side of the ropes or looking down from the stage. But they were toys. They weren't established. So those 3 crews were the most established crews, and then after that, you get the Cold Crush, you get the Fantastic, you get the Treacherous 3, you get crews like that, you get the Fearless. But in the beginning, it was just like when I started. See, I'm and if somebody that came after me, they would beg to differ because they talking about when they started. I'm talking about when I started. It was only 2 other crews that were established when we started, and we were that 3rd established crew, and then after that, everything else happened.